Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hey, how we doing?
Is it?
We where we at? Where we at? There we go. All right. All right.
Everybody went to lunch.
Everybody went to lunch. Yeah. So look, I know we probably don't have anyone on right now, but there will be later. So if you come on live or catch the replay, do me a huge favor. One, welcome this guy. All right, complete stranger to online. He's never done anything. He doesn't know what's going. I'm just kidding. Mark is an absolute fucking rock star, whether he likes to admit it or not. He's been rocking with us for quite some time at this point. And give him a warm welcome in the comments. Also, take your thumb or your index finger or your middle finger and tap that heart button, right? And drop a hashtag live, hashtag replay, right? and let me know if you happen to know who Marky Mark is, aka some folks know him as Scotty. Right, he's a cool dude. He's done some amazing things. We're gonna pick his brain. Hopefully, y'all brought y'all's brain picks too, so you can pick his brain and make him as uncomfortable as possible. That's what we're trying to do today.
Love it. Yeah. Get me out of my comfort zone.
Hell yeah. Mark, as you know, I've got a bunch of newer folks in my group. Nate's got newer folks in his group. If you could take a brief second to kind of walk us through, how you got into this game, what you used to do, and how you kind of got to where you are right now.
Yeah. I'll try to do the abridged version. After I got hurt in the military, the Army kicked me out, said I couldn't play anymore. So I settled down here in Florida, met a lady who said I had to get a real job. So I did. So I was in corporate America for that rotation. So I was in there until the day of my 40th birthday. I got let go the first time during the economic slowdown of like 2008 or something. No, 2010, because my kid was a year old. So then I vowed I would be so invaluable and indispensable, I'd never get let go again. So I doubled down. I worked twice as hard, 3 times as many hours, saw nobody but the people in my office. I barely saw my kids. Probably led a little bit to my divorce, but who knows? Yeah, just did I was a company guy. I was climbing the ladder, doing everything I was told to do. Yes. Extra projects, you got it. You need me, you got me. And that lasted through the middle of the pandemic. And I mean, everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people got shut down. And it was no exception for me. And so there I was, 50, project manager, making a shit ton of money in an environment where the economy was shut down. Nobody was hiring. So I did what a lot of people do. I hate saying this because I guess not everybody did it, but I was on TikTok and I found a program. And honestly, for me, it was like 4 videos in, I was like, I get this. That's what I want to do. Because I've said it before, I'm the perfect buyer for this, because I click links, I buy stuff online. I got it. And that was kind of like, oh shit, I get this. I like this. I'm that guy. I want to know how to do this. I had done a few things online before. I had my own business too, but this was something I was like, yeah, I don't have to carry any inventory. I can just finally kind of figure that out. So I started doing that. I was walking dogs and delivering groceries at the same time because I didn't tell the ex or my kids that I lost my job, and I really didn't want them to know because I didn't want my kids to freak out. So I did what I just did everything I could to keep the bills going, learning this stuff, and I had some success. Not like some of those people you see out there. Yeah, only 1 to 2 hours a day. Oh wow. I don't know if I was smarter than your average Joe, but I mean, I that's not what it was. I just knew that if I kept working at it, the idea behind it was like, yeah, this is exactly how the economy works. So I did. I kept working at it. I kept meeting people who were smarter than me and listening to them. I got invited to some, online parties as they were. Nate was talking about one yesterday, and just I was saying yes to anybody who said, "Hey, you wanna you wanna come check out this? We're doing this thing tonight, or doing that." And I did okay. I wasn't gangbusters. I didn't knock it out of the park, but I didn't have to go back to the office. As long as she got a check and they got to go to Disney and they didn't know anything. They didn't know anything was going on, so I was happy. And then it was funny because the timing of this, it was probably last month into this month was where I was really, things weren't clicking as much after the holidays like a year or so ago. And I was bugging Nate. I'm like, yeah, what's this Facebook thing, man? I don't know anything about it. And Nate was on it. He was like, yeah, man, just do this. And he'd send me a couple things, and he'd do a couple things. So, hey, thanks, man. And I'd ghost him. And somewhere along there, because I think we've been together for like since June or July. So somewhere between now and then, somehow I got on your radar. I don't even know where it came from, but I was talking about you yesterday too. You just, panty dropper. It's like, I don't even know what happened. I don't even know what happened that night. I just woke up, my credit card was out, and I was like, what happened? and and I got into Group Juice. And I was like, well, shit, okay, what did I get into? I didn't even know what I bought. You didn't even send me an offer doc. It was just, we were talking about something. I'm like, yeah, man, whatever you're saying, that sounds really good.
Yeah.
And I'm not even sure when that happened if there was a connection that you and Nate were working on this together. Because then I felt really bad. I think I texted him like, oh shit, man, Nate's been helping me out. He's like, it's all good, man. I was like, okay. I was like, because I felt bad. He was helping me so much, and I just wasn't listening. I didn't get it. But yeah, that's my story. And then I got into you guys, and it kind of, everything I had learned in all the little places and stuff, the way you guys just consolidated it, and being able to listen to you guys explain it at a much easier level for me. I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So I got rid of most of my funnels, got rid of everything else, and just, okay, I'm doing Facebook organic. Here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mark. You dropped a bunch of little lessons in there too. Like one, everybody knows that we all go through shit. Shit happens. What I picked up from what Mark was saying, guys, was family was important. He didn't want his family to suffer anything based on what he was dealing with. So he was, just like me, family comes first, regardless. Money's not everything, but obviously we got to make money to, take care of our family. But that was one big thing I picked up, and I totally respect that, like for real. Because like this year and even last year, I've been putting more time into my family. I've been investing not only in the business, but I've been investing more time into my wife, more time into my kids. And I think that's super important. Like if you're out here trying to build a business, don't build a business that takes you away, just like the corporate did, right?
Right.
If you mention there's so many places that me and Nate relate with Mark versus how he worked. Like I had a 6-figure job too, and they fucking fired me so quick because I put family first, right? During the pandemic and shit. It was a 6-figure job. It was good money. I was never home.
Right.
I was the same thing Mark was. Company guy, lead supervisor, right? Highest paid supervisor. And that was because I was a fucking yes man. Oh, you need me to do this? Yes. You need me to come in early? Yes. You need me to stay late? Yes. You need me to do a double shift? Super dangerous, but yes, got it. You want
Right.
You want 40 hours overtime? Pfft, done. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. 40 hours overtime on salary is kind of shitty, isn't it?
Fuck yeah, it is.
It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll catch you on the bonus. No, they don't.
No, you won't. Thank you for the pizza.
Yeah. You did really good. Just you missed these two things. Oh, really? Did I? Suck it in. Yeah.
But I think a lot of people should feel that. Like, is anybody else feeling that way? I know a lot of you still work, but I'm not saying every company is bad, because there are some really
Right.
good companies out there, but
Right.
for the most part, here's what's important. You're a body. You're there. You're working for, the CEO, the lower management, the supervisors. You're an employee.
Right.
You're making that company money. You're not building something of your own. Even if you get to get a little bit of, stock or stakes in the company itself, it's peanuts.
Right.
And as soon as you're let go or fired, or you get hurt, or you can no longer perform your job, you are simply pushed to the curb and you're replaced by someone at a lower wage that is younger and doesn't know as much as you.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the show goes on.
Yep.
Versus what we do, what we want to equip everyone with is actual transferable skills that can be used in any fucking industry, with any fucking category or any niche, whether
Yeah.
it's physical or digital. It doesn't matter. We're gonna
Yeah.
jump into that later. But my point is, what Mark's building, what all of our students in Group Juice, all of our clients, what they're building is something that no one can take from them. You can't do it.
Yep. No. She's That's the big eye opener about everything we do online and all the other opportunities. I know you said you're probably going to hit this later, but that's where for all of us, so many years, you're head down. You're head down in your desk, on the floor, the shop floor, wherever, hoping, making sure you don't lose your job, and you don't have time to even understand these other things that are going on out there, and until you have that little breathing room where you're like, wow, there's a whole like $1 trillion industry out there where you can just create your own economy. You can do your own shit. And yeah, you're just, you don't have time. We're all stuck in that. If you're at your 9 to 5, I get it. Cause dude, I was there for decades. Just trying to hold on.
It's a big one. It's a big one. I see a lot of folks relating. There was something else I want to hit on really quick. Like, let me know. We got a handful of folks on now. Like, are y'all seeing? Doesn't matter where you're at in your journey. All right, that's not important. But I'm curious. Mark told the story, like he was hitting up Nate, and Nate was helping out a whole lot. Right. I want to touch on this. It's a cool lesson. Right.
Yeah.
It's a cool lesson.
I know the lesson.
He was hitting up Nate, and Nate was helping. Now, me and Nate were both, the same way. We were helping folks like left and right as much as possible for free. And I had gotten to a point where I was just like asking for the sale more.
Yep.
Right. So like, that's how I got Mark. If you want to say I got him, right? I dropped his panties and whatever.
Dropped panties.
Right. I see a lot of folks. I see a lot of folks saying, "Oh, this person stole my sale," or this person's doing way better than me. They're making sales. I started, before them, and they're doing better. One, quit that shit.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you a couple lessons real quick, and then I'll get Mark's take on it. You don't own any sales out there. All right. No person, like, these are people we're talking about. Right. It's not just a sale. All right. You don't own the people, nor do you own the sale. It's not something that you can possess. It's not a possession. Okay. The people that win in this game are the ones that are out there giving value. They're giving more. Right. They're providing value in their posts and their videos and in their trainings, but they're adding on one thing that most people never do. And that's making an offer. Mm-hmm. Right. If you're going to give the value and you're going to show the plan and cover the process, and all that, and not make offers, you better bet your ass that other people are going to continue to make more money and make more sales and land more clients. So you have to balance out your value with making offers and asking for the sale. Okay. Yep. So this is what we tell all of our folks. Mark will tell you. Mark is in our private client roster, right? We tell folks, if you're giving value and you're posting, you have to do like go 80-20. Give 80% value and make 20% offers. Yeah. Or do like we do. I think we split it a little bit more because we're constantly pre-selling while giving value and making offers daily.
Right.
Right. This is
Right.
what you have to do. All right.
Yeah, and I'll even chime in a bit. Is that was like probably one of my biggest challenges in 2021 was creating problems in my own sales process. So Mark's a really good real-time example of exactly what I did over and over again. I did this a lot where I would give a lot of value to people, but I was too scared to actually ask to buy or ask, hey, have an offer on XYZ. I built up this really bad habit in my business where I would give with the premise of I was expecting them to just like, hey, I'm ready to buy, which doesn't fucking happen. So there's not like any ill will about, I mean, me and Flip are business partners. So when Mark bought, he bought into, the same thing as that I'm doing. So it doesn't make a difference. But that was our private clients will know this because I talk about this a lot, is you have to figure out, you have to find your own balance. Like Flip was saying, right? Like if you're giving high value, you're giving a lot of value to your audience. You need to match that with extending invitations to buy products, because very rarely is it going to be, I'm going to give you X amount of value, and then people are just going to start lining up and then just throwing their credit cards at you, right? This could potentially only really be a thing if you're doing like very low ticket products, because there's very low risk, minimal risk. But you have to actually extend invitations. And I think a big problem a lot of people create is they kind of think of sales as like a slimy, or like they don't necessarily feel comfortable with the sales process or asking for sales in general.
Right.
And it's a big thing is finding conviction in what you're actually selling, right?
Yeah.
If you believe that it's going to help somebody do X thing and like help them solve their problem,
right,
then it's almost a disservice on your end not asking for the sale.
Yep. I think a lot of people also, I think they fear rejection. Everybody fears that, and you're in everything, relationships, everywhere you are in life, you're afraid of rejection. And this, if you put your offer out there, if you put yourself out there, they say no. That's where I think it's helpful to put out more offers, to start getting a tougher skin, to realizing it's not you, that person just wasn't ready to buy. And some of the things Nate was saying is, I think in retrospect, and this probably happens to a lot of people out there who aren't getting the sale, but seeing other people being successful. If you're giving a lot of value like Nate was, Flip closed it because he made an offer, right? So somebody you could be helping somebody in your DMs, you could be talking to them all the time. And then somebody else like does that last step where they already know everything about what you have to offer, but the other person made the offer because they made up their mind. They're like, okay, yeah. But somebody else comes in and makes an offer. They were ready to buy. They might not have even known you had the offer. They might just think, wow, they know a lot of shit about this program. I'm going to go find somebody to buy it from. So keep that in mind. Let them know. Let them know. It's okay for them to say no. It really is. It's nothing. I haven't had one person reject like my offer that I got mad at, or that I don't still talk to, or, they're like, no, get out of here, you scammer. It just, I haven't run into that yet. Now, if you do, okay, be prepared for it, but move on. What's the time?
Just know that anyone who says that, I basically, I'm petty as fuck. Most of y'all know this. I'm like, good luck being unhappy with your life, just like you are now, because you're just uneducated and your ego is too big for you to extend your way of thinking, right? Sorry, you're not with the times, right? See you later, right?
That's
Next.
true.
So, like what Mark just said, I'll see how serious all of you are right now with a simple fucking challenge. The challenge, I'm going to give y'all the same challenge that Jamie Gardner gave me in 2021 that completely catapulted my results and built my momentum. So here's my challenge. All of next month, starting right now, make at least one offer every single day.
Yep.
And it doesn't have to be a monetary offer. It could be to join your group or to have a combo or to check a training, right? Posting content is technically an offer if you want me to get technical. But if you're going to take that challenge, make some kind of offer every single day. If you accept that challenge, put "I accept" in the comments. Make an offer every single day. Now, next, based on what Mark said, don't worry about the no's. If you flip it, right, pun intended, and say, okay, here's what I have to do in order to make my first $1,000 commission. I've got to go and make 100 offers and get 99 no's.
That's right.
Then you disconnect. Okay, I'm going for the no. Once I get 99 no's, I get $1,000 yes. So how quick are you going to go out there and try and get your offer seen, right? Or make an offer. Right?
And I love that one. You're not gonna go through 1,000 no's. You're not. One, if one of you're in here and you have this offer or whatever offer you have, it's probably pretty damn good if you can stand by it. You're not gonna get that. You're not gonna go there. Now, don't hold me to that. I made 20, I made 30, but you're not gonna get to 1,000, and you're gonna get better each time. And then when you get to that point, it's almost you're almost not gonna know what happened. That probably is the realest thing. You're gonna go, I don't know what the hell I did to get this sale. I don't know what happened. Sometimes it's Flip and Nate emailing you saying, "Hey, congratulations," and you're like, "What happened? What just happened?" So push yourself. I'm glad I saw those "I accepts" in there. That's pretty awesome. Ian, was that an "I accept" or was that no?
Yeah. I love it. Mark,
you're telling me
I need to be where he is on. Oh yeah, he's in the Sunshine State.
No, it's pretty gloomy today. It's not that bright.
We jumped on the call and he's like, "Yeah, it's overcast today," and I'm like, "Dude, that's a July summer day for me." Like we only get 5 of those a year.
Yeah, exactly.
So look, we got some cool things to go over. That Mark has done, guys. But I want to make sure y'all know. If I don't care if you already know who we all are, even if you're in any of our programs or offers, but more specifically, if you are not, I see some questions. Ask your questions. These are what these are for. Whatever you want to know. Mark is, he doesn't like to accept it, just like none of us like to accept our successes, but he's done really well. Okay. Any questions you got for Mark specifically? I'm gonna ask him one in a second, but put your questions in the comments. We'll roll through there. All right. So, Mark, my question for you.
Yes, sir.
For anyone that is on the fence about online business, whether it's affiliate marketing or whatever it might be, anyone who's on the fence, or if they are a person that has already started not getting any traction.
Right.
Can you share like your biggest, maybe your biggest aha moment or lesson that kind of clicked for you at a certain point where you started getting some results?
Shit, I've got a couple, but I actually, excuse me, just did a post in my group about this because, and you and I have talked about this. One of my aha moments was realizing, especially in the beginning, I was coming from making 125 or so a year, and I'm learning to do online. I'm a true believer. I'm all in. This to me, it just made so much sense, and I was trying to convince myself and convince other people that this was the way forward, all while still walking dogs, delivering groceries, and not making a shit ton of money. Regardless of whether it was my first 280 or 1,000, I wasn't making 125,000, and I was stuck with this huge weight of imposter syndrome and like, man, why would anybody want to risk their $125,000 a year job to do something like this? And then it took me a long time, and we've had conversations about this before it dawned on me. I'm like, well, right when I got out of the service, this would have put me way above what I was making in the Army, right? And for a lot of people, this is life-changing money. It doesn't mean they're poor. It doesn't mean anything like that. It just means you don't know where these people are in their life and what they strive for. You don't know what their desires are. Jamie's on here. I talked to her all about it. With the other program I had, if you can pad your pocket with an extra 12 grand a year, that's some life-changing money for people, because I can with 100% certainty guarantee you will not get a raise like that at any job you get. It will probably take you 6 years to accumulate, probably more than that. I mean, it took me forever to get to 100 grand,
Yeah.
So when I started looking at it, I'm going, I can't assume what people who are coming into my world, what they want out of this, right? I can't assume that they want to quit their $125,000 job, because I wasn't the guy for that. I was like, you're not going to be making that anytime soon. It's going to take you a while. So there was that barrier where I was like, I got to be honest with them. But the internet is telling you can make $12,000 a month, 1 to 2 hours a day, and I knew better. But then I started realizing and talking to more people and going, yeah, some people just wanted that extra money. The analogy I used to use is, back in the olden days, to do something what we're doing now, you had to leave your job. And then for me, I was in construction, and then I'd have to go to a night job and do trim work or extra jobs on another job site. That was how you made extra money. And that meant more time away from, it was before I was married, but that was more time away from doing anything, certainly living. You don't have to do that in this day and age. Your second job, while you have that lifeline, can be learning how to do online digital marketing, because there's a whole bunch of things you can do with it, and then start making that extra money and being happy for once. What's my other point? I had another one, but yeah, that was one I just wrote about. So that was one of my biggest aha moments. And just don't spend with other people's wallets. You don't know what they're willing to invest in. Some people, for me, again, I'm one of those greedy bastards. If I see something I'm like, it's like, here you go, bam. If I see something I don't like I hate changing my tires every couple of years. It pisses me off that I have to spend money. Why can't they make a car that just lasts? Yeah, it just makes me mad. I'm like, God, tires again? This is stupid. But online courses and online education and books, I mean, how many thousands of dollars have I spent on books trying to get better at things throughout the course of my entire life, whether it's time management, whether it's just anything. So I don't have those same mental blocks. I can't assume other people have that same mental block. I just got to talk to them and see where they're at. Where they're at. Yeah.
That's it.
Those were some. Yeah. I ramble so much I get out of my own thoughts, and I'm like, what the hell was I saying? I do this on my own lives. I'm like, what was the point of that? But
12K raise, dude. That's like 50% of my old income.
Yeah.
I was working like 60 hours a week and made 24K a year.
Yeah. And I jokingly say lazy marketer, but yeah, you can legitimately do things like that if you apply whatever you're learning online. Apply it, actually do it. Don't just read about it. Don't just tell people, hey, I got this cool program and I'm reading it or whatever. Unless you put that stuff to action, put it into work, you ain't going to make any money. It doesn't happen like that. You can have it all up here, but if you don't do what they, I'm not saying Flipper Nate, but whatever you're in, you don't actually do the thing, you're not going to see results. You can read all you want about health and nutrition, but if you don't do that, you're still not going to get healthier. You can read every book about my other analogy, about triathlons. Man, you can watch all the YouTube videos and yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah. You can read there's a lot of books on triathlons and what to do. But if you don't train, you're going to die. So you will.
So basically what you're saying, so I actually love that. I think that'll be a big lesson for some more folks here. It's like, so you're basically saying, if you want to learn something, then you can go the route of getting books and YouTube videos and all that, and then you'll have the info. But if you really want to learn it, do it.
Hell yeah.
So like same thing with sales. Check this out. Yep. I got plenty of books on sales, just like Mark. I've spent literally thousands. My most expensive book is like $500. I spent $500 on a fucking book. It was worth it. Don't get me wrong. But you can read 10 books on sales, how to close sales, how to get sales opportunities, blah, blah, blah. Everything sales. You can read 10 books on it. Or you can go and talk to 100 people and try and sell them something. And you will get more out of that experience by doing it than you would the entire time reading those 10 books, because you're doing it in real time and getting real data and getting real responses, real folks, real results.
Every single time.
Every single time. I think that's a big one.
Yeah.
See, I'm going to pull up this question too. This was one of the first ones.
Is that for me? I'm the worst example for you, but I'll give it a go. It's not 1 to 2 hours, but I have to do most of my work before noon or 1. After that, I just get so disconnected and I lose my train of thought. Part of that is because when I was in the military, everything was structured. When I was in corporate, I got my routines. I just got it. Not only did I get my routines, I had people yelling at me to tell me that was my routine, right? You had to show up, you had to do shit at a certain time.
Okay.
When you're an entrepreneur, when you're doing this on your own, it's completely on you to be accountable to yourself of when you do the work. So if you're a night owl, do all your shit at night. Who cares? Don't let people tell you have to wake up at 4:30 and take an ice bath and run around the block and take sauna. If that's not you, don't do it. You can't fit into that model of an Alex Hormozi if that ain't you. So my typical day is I still get up early because that's what my body's programmed to do. Go to the gym or some sort of thing like that. Then I get back. I've gotten better this year of scheduling what my morning looks like. So I'll have 3 things on my iPad that says, okay, these are your 3 things. And then I work on them. If it's not 1, 2, 3, it's 3 things. So if I come back from the gym or I have my coffee and I'm looking at those 3 things, I pick the one that I want to do first. And then I work on that because I'll probably get it done sooner because I feel like doing it. Whereas if I had it in some sort of order, I can make more excuses than you can believe in to not do something or just take too much time. Yeah. If I had number 1 every day, write a Facebook post, you would not have it. I would not have any content because I'm not a good writer, like mental block. So yeah, just my day is structured like that. I have 3 things, thanks to these guys, my 3 non-negotiables that, and pretty much anybody can get that stuff done. It's 3, because after that, you're winning. Anything else you do after those 3 things, it's a bomb day. You're golden. And so just keep going with the flow. But that's my typical day. I just knock out the 3 non-negotiables after the other shit. If I'm lucky, some of the days I get to take my girls to school, which doesn't push anything back for me. So
yep.
Even if it did, who cares?
I'm the same way, Mark. I got to get most of my shit done by 12 or 1, because from 1 to 9, it's like from 1 until every bit of 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like mush unless we got client calls. Yep.
Yeah.
100%. And then 6 to 9 is family time. I typically don't pick up my phone or do any work between that time. But
right.
If you had to put an hour, what would you say? 4 hours a day that you put into it, roughly?
Sometimes it can be 8 hours. Sometimes it can be 2 hours. It really depends, and you have that luxury to do that because, I don't know if this is the right way to say it, but it's your job, and you're only accountable to yourself. So if I only feel like doing 2 hours of work, I know myself, I can make it up. I can do better. I can work longer another day if I feel like it. If I'm not feeling it, I was going through some shit last couple of weeks, and some days I did not do anything. I didn't post a TikTok, didn't do anything.
Yeah.
But sometimes you have to do that. So, if you average it out, probably 4 hours, 4 to 5 hours a day, if that. But yeah,
it's by design. Mark just said that. When you're doing this and you're doing it full time, like all 3 of us do this full time, you have that luxury to design your schedule. Now, what most the gurus won't tell you is you're going to have to grind 6 to 12 months to get to that point. If you're not,
yeah. That's true.
But
That's true.
when you get to a certain point, you can set your day up to look however you want. But Mark said the most important thing. He said, well, after the three things, it doesn't matter what you do because you're winning, because you already done your three things, right? Winning. You do those three things every day, you're winning. Why? Because those three things move the needle.
Yep.
Facts.
And
And I think
Facebook user. Oh, sorry, Nate. Go ahead.
Oh, and I think that's the biggest disconnect for people coming from like regular jobs is it's like, you know, everybody, and not to make a blanket statement, but everybody comes from, I work X amount of hours and I make X amount of dollars. And building a business and online business specifically isn't the same entity. It's not the same type of thing, right? And I've said this a lot where, you know, earlier stages of your business, when you're just starting, when you don't understand marketing, you don't know how to make offers, you don't know how to do all this other stuff as you're mastering these hats, you know, you're going to put in more hours and you're going to make less. That's just the reality of it, right? You're learning a new skill. You're refining your processes. Whereas as time goes on, as Flip and Mark just mentioned, when you know you put in that work up front, you're going to be able to start understanding things, and you're going to be able to create leverage, and you're going to be able to start making more money by doing less.
Yep.
Right. You're going to be able to pull on certain levers and consistently start pulling in bigger numbers in your business. And it's going to relatively become easy to you. It's going to become normal. It's going to become an easy habit to maintain with minimal amounts of energy put in.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that's a big disconnect a lot of people have. And I know it's also because a lot of people preach the, you know, 10K days in 15 minutes and shit like that, which is not why we're here. You have the luxury to build your own schedule and how much time you want to put in. Right. And I know, like, if you're still working a full-time job, put in as much time as you can. That's just the reality of it. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And don't, it's like with anything, right? Each one of us up here operates differently than everybody on this screen, just like working out and everything else. You also have to know your body and know yourself, right? You can tell yourself all day long, if you're out of work right now, I'm going to work 10 hours a day on my business. And guess what? After about hour 3, you're not going to accomplish anything. You're not going to retain it. I'm saying that for me. It might be different for some people, but for me, what's the point of working 10 hours a day? I'm not going to get shit done. After I get the stuff that I'm capable of doing, everything else is going to be crap. And I know this for myself, so I don't push that anymore. There's no point in me trying to do a really awesome email at the end of the day. It ain't happening. It's going to take me 3 hours, and it's going to be crap. So I don't do it because I know myself. You really have to really get in tune with like how you work the best, and then lean into that as much as possible.
I like that. Identify your most productive times of the day. For me, so I'll tell you what like a typical day for me looks like. I get up, I let the dogs out, I get my nicotine, I make my coffee, right? Help get the girls' stuff situated. The wife's doing the same. I'll take them to school. I'll get back around 9. And whether we got a call or interview at 10 or 11, you know, on the days that we do, I'll try and get a post out. I'll try and get an email out, and I'll try and get a TikTok out. Now, and I'll look at conversations. I'll reply, check comments, etc. So I'm doing content, conversations, making offers where it makes sense. After that, my non-negotiables are done.
Yeah.
That's it. Because I'm winning the rest of the day. I get some kind of content. I start or, you know, rekindle conversations, reply to folks, etc. Check sales, blah, 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 all that good stuff. I'm done for the rest of the day, technically. But I'm also productive in the morning before 12. And then I'm productive again. Ask Nate. He don't know how I do it. He calls me a psychopath. But my next productive strain is anywhere from 9 to 2 in the morning. And then I'll turn right back around and wake up early again. Kind of got that clock thing going on with my body like Mark. I wake up even if I don't have an alarm set. But it's up to you.
Yeah, dude, be like, you know, I need my beauty sleep. You know what I'm saying? I'm up till 2 a.m. I'm like, you know.
You cranky. You set that alarm, you get your what is that? that early bird special, and then you hit the hay, huh? You go to bed. You'd love it down here in Florida, Nate. You'd love it.
I want to pull this one up real quick, and this is a really cool comment actually, because this is
Good
a
one.
very big thing, right? Why would you not work for yourself just as hard as you would work for someone else? It's
Yeah.
a very powerful statement,
Yeah.
because if you look at it, a lot of people will destroy their body and their mental health for somebody else, but then when it comes to building something of their own, they'll do the bare minimum.
Yeah.
And it comes down to like a self-worth thing, and it's like a weird paradox, because it's very real. People will do just enough for themselves, but then, you know, do anything and everything, as Mark was mentioning in the beginning of this call, like go above and beyond for somebody else. But when it comes to doing something for them, they have a lot of fear and aversion to it.
Yeah.
It's that comfort of letting somebody else tell you what to do so you don't have to think about it when you're at a job. And then that comfort of, now that you're not at the job, you're home. I want to watch Netflix. I want to just, chill with my kids, which again, I'm not saying anything's wrong with that. You do you. But then when you have to reflect on, for me, I had time before I got laid off. If I really thought about it, that I could have probably done something, but I was comfortable. I thought I was safe. And that comfort kind of blinds you to some of that stuff. And then when I got home, it was like I was in the comfort zone. I was like, okay, I did all I could do. Now it's me time. It put me behind the 8 ball.
I like that.
I get it.
Get it.
Definitely not a knock on anybody, because we've been there.
Mark, I want you to chew on this next question, because I'm going to pull up something while you're chewing on it, so you can think about it.
Okay.
Okay. Because I want you to think about what's been the best thing about Group Juice and being in core. So think about that. You got some time. I'm going to go over this quick little deal here as an example for an offer. So like, check this out. I'm going to give you a real-time example. So if I say, I've got this book here, right? And let's just say that it's got all the information inside of it of how I've built a 6-figure business. It's got action steps. It's got real examples. It's got strategy. It's got literally the step-by-steps that you need to take, right? And I say, for $100, I'll send you this book, right? And you'll have this book. All that will be required on your part is to consume it and implement it. And the skills that you learn within this book are going to be skills that you can then go and take into the real world, into the marketplace, on social media, in brick and mortar, and apply it, and have skills that you can then charge 10 times as much for, right? $100. So just to give you a little bit more prerequisite, I see so many folks that are always constantly fighting about, oh, I gotta pay for it. I had someone tell me the other day, I'm just looking for someone who's got results and success and can guide me for free. I'm not your guy, my dude. I've got free resources and free insights inside of my group, in these groups, that are free as fuck. All you got to do is take them, go and implement them, get results, right? But most people still don't even do that shit. So if you want my true insights, or God forbid you want hands-on help, I'm going to charge you money, because I went out and invested more than 6 figures to learn the things that I have learned, so that you can go faster than I did at a fraction of the cost. Because you're not just paying for a product or a service. You are paying for the experience and the results and the time that you can save and the money that you can make. So here's the definition of an offer, right? I'll give you this book that's got everything you need inside of it, $100, right? We do have a $100 offer. One of our $100 offers, I'm not sure if he's in here, but he took our $100 training and fucked around and found out and made 16 grand with a consulting offer in the brick and mortar space.
Yeah.
$100 worth of information, right? So there's some food for thought, nutritious things that you guys can chew on. Many other ways you can create offers or see offers. We've got an offer going right now. If you want to see another real one, it's called the March Madness. If y'all haven't seen it, check on it because it goes away just like Nate's dad did on Friday. Okay.
Be sure to hit up Marky Mark. In a very real thing is like people who pay attention, right?
Yeah.
And like without giving you some cliche analogy, I'll give you guys kind of a real time example. So like we'll make the analogy of like a wedding ring. Look at how a woman treats her wedding ring, right? It's like you got to put it on the countertop when you wash your dishes, and you have to do all these different things to make sure, you take care of it. Now, what about a ring that you bought from like, JC Penney's? It's $25. Are you going to treat it the exact same way? Right? Like you're going to pay you're going to treat that in a completely different way, right? And that's a good analogy for the way that people treat information or things online, right? We could literally, we do all the time. We give you guys tactical strategies in our group. Like, go look at the workshop. We revealed everything that we give a lot of our clients. 99% of people never do anything with it, right? And I know that's same thing for me, right? I've invested a lot of money. We still invest, right? We spend multi 4 figures every single month to work with mentors and coaches and stuff like that. But the difference in what I pay attention to is massive. If I've paid for it, if I haven't, right. It goes in one ear and out the other, right? Go watch a free YouTube video. How many of those have you actually applied?
No, right.
Not a one of them. Don't lie.
If it's important to you, you're going to pay for it. And I know this because when I say this, just bear in mind, I have tattoos too, so it's nothing against that. But I have people always in my circle. Oh man, I can't do it. I can't. And then the next social media post is they're getting another ink. I'm like, you can't, because I know that shit's not cheap. So it's like if you really are passionate about changing your life, you're going to put forth the effort, and that most of the time with the knowledge means paying somebody who's gone through the mud and the muck to clear it up for you. And that's my transition to Group Juice, because I was out there fighting the battle by myself, thinking I got this. I'm smart. Damn, man, I was a Ranger. I got this. But sometimes you just gotta admit to yourself you need help with this shit, and that's where, again. But I also am not shy with my wallet. So when it came to Group Juice, why did I join? Because you put a roofie in my drink. But once I was in the program, that's where it was like the sun shining in Florida, because I've taken a shit ton of programs. Some good, some not good, some were just horrible. But for me and the learning style, not only did you have YouTube explaining, really explaining, not way up here, but really, this is the example. This is how you do this. This is what you do. But then for me, the little handouts, because I like that. I like printing off shit that I don't understand, marking it up, having it there as a reference for me, either while I'm watching again or rewatching, because that's important to anybody in here who's already in there. Don't just think you're going to watch that and that's it. Hey, good, I'm good to go. Well, again, that's me. I can't. I got to rewatch this shit all the time. Not all of it, but a lot of it to go, okay, what am I missing at this part? What do I need a refresher on? But the handouts for me, I don't think enough people really understand. No other program in this space anyway is going to give you that stuff. With everything Nate or Flip talk about, it's right there also on a handout, so I could reference it. And then with Core and SAA, just the added knowledge, and then a more intimate group where people have their own businesses going. So it's not like, hey, this is a bad example for Group Juice, but you don't have to deal with, hey, how do I set up my funnel? It's not that. The people there have moved past that stage of their business, and they have higher level questions. And that's why if you do things right in your business, expect to pay for that, whether it's 6 months from now, a year from now, or 2 years, because you want to go to that next level. There's always going to be people way ahead of you or a little bit ahead of you. And I wanted to be up there with those people with those ideas. It's just like with Misfits and our little core group there. I want to be around people who have a lot more knowledge than me, so that I'm not looking down here at the surface level of my business. Like I got, I'm pretty good with that. It's okay, what can I do with this next? What other opportunity is out there where I can do things with it? Which, one last thing about Group Juice, I tell people this, and I don't know if I do a good enough job. You can literally go through Group Juice, and if they don't do it very much, but if you ever see an instance where they say something Group Juice, replace it with whatever thing you have. Because this is what these guys have built, is something that you can use for literally any idea that you have online. This doesn't have to be even high ticket affiliate marketing if you don't want it to be. Any idea you have, you can take what's in Group Juice and implement how they do it, and you can be successful. You just have to implement it. Don't read about it. Don't think about it. Think about, if you're in there, think about what they've offered you for what you want to do. And it applies across the board. And as the economy changes, as things change, this kind of doesn't. It covers all of the, oh shit, this is really how online marketing works. This is how you get clients. This is how you talk to people. That's not going to change. So That's what you get out of it.
Well, Mark was one of the first ones to actually say that. Mark was one of the first ones to get access to Group Juice, and I still remember a comment that he put to this day that said, Group Juice is more than just affiliate marketing.
Yeah,
right.
Way.
He was kind of just covering that. So appreciate your insight on that, dude.
I've been fortunate, right? So I did a lot of betas. I also took a lot of courses. So I say that with conviction because I've seen a lot of the stuff out there. And this is one of those ones that you're like, you could do this with anything. You want to set up a golf shop? Go ahead. Disc golf, whatever.
Yeah.
It's kind of fundamentally all the same, right? I'm not going to use your catchphrase, but yeah. Dump trucks. Yeah. It applies.
We got a couple more questions coming up too.
Yep.
Good.
There's two of these. What was your biggest struggle, Mark?
The first one I covered, where I had to understand that my expectations for what people wanted to make was I can't do that. That's not fair for them or me. And then the other struggle was, okay, two more struggles. Last one I haven't overcome yet was understanding that in this business, but any business, anytime you're trying to do a business, you need a support network, or you need accountability, you need good mentors, you need people around you that are ahead of you, so they can kind of warn you, guide you, tell you, if you do that, you're fucked up. Don't do that. You need to get in with people. You can't do this on your own. I would venture to say 99% of the people, you can't do anything by yourself. This is one thing you don't want to do because you're just going to prolong the pain. So ask for help, buy a product. Doesn't have to be this, but buy something, get in with a good group of people that can keep you accountable and help you, and ask for help, ask questions. I'm still not that great at asking questions, but yeah, those are my two biggest ones. Realizing I wasn't going to get any further than I was without asking for help and getting with the right people. Community. There you go. See, I ain't so good with words sometimes, and that community, that's the word.
You're getting gooder.
I'm getting gooder at it. The third one isn't relevant, but it's and I still whatever, because it's not a biggest struggle. It's just my internal struggle of the screenshots and my accomplishments. The Ranger community is a bunch of quiet professionals. So, and I'm older, and I've always, I just struggle with that. I'm not good at that. Maybe that'll get gooder next year.
I'll meet you there, Mark. I've said this, I don't know, I've told it to some people, but if I were to pull open my phone and show you my screenshots,
right?
It's in. I probably have well over 5,000 screenshots where I've made sales, big days, money, deposits, etc. But if you go through my content, you don't typically see a lot of it, right? And it's because me taking a screenshot is for me internally. It's to remind me I've done and I have accomplished, and this is what's possible. So like it kind of invites imposter syndrome on the regular. And here recently I've realized that imposter syndrome is actually healthy.
Yeah.
Some of you might be like, what the fuck? Imposter syndrome is healthy, right? So real quick, imposter syndrome, if you're feeling like, kind of scared or uncomfortable, like you're trying to be someone that you're not, it's because you are. That is what you are doing. You are trying to become a better version of yourself, and you are growing, which is why you're uncomfortable. So when you feel imposter syndrome, you need to know that you are feeling that because you are growing. It is simply growing pains. And whenever you do not feel uncomfortable, right? If you do not feel that imposter syndrome, that means that you have now stopped moving. You're not growing. You haven't set goals that scared the shit out of you. And you're playing it safe, right? But if you're feeling imposter syndrome, I feel that shit every fucking day.
Yeah.
You know why? Because I'm constantly growing. I'm challenging myself, right? So keep that on the tip of your brain waves.
And I think like the more and more, at least
Thanks,
this goes
Jessica.
for me, and I won't necessarily speak for Mark and Flip. I think when I really started to understand what people were doing with marketing, it made me kind of had a bad taste with just becoming a screenshot warrior and talking about like, how quick and easy and because the reality is like that captures a lot of attention very easily. Like, right? Like the quick big numbers, how people are going to get rich quick. But then when I zoom out and I really realized in my own business that that's the type of shit that kept me stuck for a really long time. Not the fact that, people aren't having a lot of success, but the reality is I bred these false expectations, which ultimately kept me going in circles, right? I came in, I posted content for 91 days and I didn't make 100K. My business is broken, right? which the reality is like, there is people that come in and they do 10K in 30 days. They do. I mean, hell, we've had dozens of people come into Group Juice and do 10K in less than 30 days. That's the reality of it. But very rarely is that our marketing message because it's not the standard. Not everybody's going to come in and do that. Yeah. Right. So we want to do the polar opposite and kind of set expectations of building a business for longer term, right? Putting in work for longer term because that's where the fucking really cool shit starts to happen.
Yeah.
And I'd even say, like, I think a really cool example of this, I'll use Mark's story. And that's the title of this interview, is from being a bridge to a multi-six-figure product co-creator, right? We've been working and like, see, Mark's embarrassed right now because he's like, Mark's killing it. Mark's been killing it. He's having a lot of success. And I think a really cool thing is for a long time when because we got Mark into Core, which is our coaching program, where he would talk to us and he's like, hey, I just want to be the bridge. Right? I don't want to do all the extra shit. Like, you guys have this fucking kick-ass product. I just want to sell your product. To then go on, being a co-creator of Anonymous Influencer, and which had a multi-six-figure launch, 6-figure weekends. And they're pumping out big numbers. But Mark hasn't mentioned that this entire call.
He wasn't going to do it.
No.
We're going to bring it up though. I'm curious to know personally, and I'm pretty sure everyone else would appreciate it too. So like, at what point did you realize like, hey, I'm actually doing something different than what I set out to do? Because I think a lot of folks don't think about that. The fact that I can grow and my perspectives are going to change, and I'm essentially able and allowed to do something different. So like, when did that change for you? As far as like, I have a skill set, I can do something different, and it's okay.
I think it came about what I said, when you have to get a lot of, it's the Anonymous Influencers is a group effort. And part of the realization was with our late night calls when we would be bouncing all of these ideas out. And then this is the one that I mean, if we were recording what was going on, it would be good for history to show you people how a process like this unwinds. We were just we're like trying this, try that. And then we were having success, and it was into, we need to get a course out there. And I was like, oh shit. Okay. Thanks guys. It's been fun. I'll see you later. And they're like, no, what are you doing? You're staying. I'm like, shit. Now I have to not act like I know what I'm talking about, but I got to really step up. And that was one of the moments where I was like, I got a little comfortable though too. Cause I'm like, okay, I know some shit. I got you. I'm not on a level with Dom and Jamar when it comes to, ClickFunnels 2.0 absolutely shit the bed. We were building stuff on that. And then we wanted to launch, and they're like with Lead Vortex. And I'm just like, okay, I can do copy. I can maybe do, there's something in there I could do. Let them handle that. And that's good. It's okay to do that. Don't be too proud. If you need somebody to build something for you that you're not technical, have somebody else do it for you.
Yeah.
So that was one of the main moments. And then the second one was probably when I think I told you, I was like, God damn, I created an accountability group. But, it's like a buyer's group, because then I felt like not pressure, but more of an obligation to the people who trusted me. I want to have somewhere for them to go. Here's a hammock. Great. But, let's keep everybody accountable. Let's keep everybody moving forward. I might not be able to have the answers, but if you're in Group Juice or Anonymous Influencers, I can find an answer for you and we can get you unstuck. As long as we're there accountable to each other, or nobody gives up on each other, anybody can do this. I firmly believe that.
I think that's fucking huge, man. Like literally, you cannot fail unless you quit, right?
Yeah.
So here's a question. Mark, you can answer too. Nate, you can answer, and I'll answer too. But I really want all of you in the comments to answer. And by the way, so we don't go on, because we all some long-winded sons of bitches. If you got any more questions for Mark, put them in the comments. But here's my question that I want y'all to answer in the comments. Okay, seriously, what are you worthy of accomplishing as far as an income monthly? Right? What do you really truly believe that you are worthy of? I'm gonna tell you, I'm worthy of $100,000 months. I'm worthy of a multi-million-dollar business. I truly believe that. That's not to say I've gotten there yet, because I have not, but I am worthy of it. Right? Yeah. What are you worthy of? What income? What revenue? What are you worthy of? This is something you have to believe. All right. Most people like to pick that 10K number. That's just a unicorn number. Everybody picks it. But I truly believe I'm worthy of a multi-million-dollar per year business. I'm worthy of it. I've got the knowledge for it. I've got the leadership skills for it. I've got the compassion for it. I've got the drive for it. Right? I've got the experience. Like, I know what it's going to look like. I know what I want it to look like. I am worthy of it. I deserve it. My family deserves it. My wife deserves it. My kids deserve it. My clients deserve it. Our students deserve it. Like, I know I'm worthy of it. It's just a matter of time.
More than the bare minimum.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I've
also learned over the years.
That's the reality of it. More than the bare minimum. And that's what most people get. That's like, it's kind of a weird paradox, because, I'm a capitalist, and not to get into like politics and all that shit. Like, I'm pro capitalism, building businesses and making money. But the reality is like, at a regular job, you're getting the bare minimum, and that's just enough to not quit. And that's the reality of it. So
and as that little pyramid starts to get smaller and smaller, you have a ceiling, regardless of whether you want to admit it or not. You're going to stay there longer. But I tell my friends this. Some of them, my friends are great, and they're doing fine. But it's like, do you want to be the CEO? No. Well, where's the end point for you? At what time? You're busting your ass to do all this stuff. Statistically speaking, you're going to get fired and you're going to have 3 more jobs in your life. So you're doing all this here, but you don't want to be the CEO. Okay, cool. But unlike the traditional jobs, because I'm a capitalist too, if you guys really step back, you guys meaning in the audience, and I know you're all here for the same reason. If you really step back and look at this digital age that we're in, it's not going anywhere. It's only going to explode. This is where it happens from here on out. Less and less brick and mortar, more and more of this. I'm not saying everybody can have $1 million a year business, but if you want to have $1 million a year business, this is where it's going to happen. You know, unless you're really good in construction and you can do that, that's fine, because I have friends to do that. But other than that, if you're just regular, normal folks like us, right here, you can potentially do that. And you'll get to a point where you probably realize, I don't even need that, but your potential, because there are so many different ways you can go. Once you learn these skills that they've got in here, the sky's the limit. You can go as far as you want. And this is, right now anyway, for the next 10 years, this is the only place you can go that far, in my opinion.
And I think the really powerful thing nobody really talks about is the fact that you have to do it. The fact that you have the ability to do it all by design, right? So when we talk about, building a 7-figure per year business, you can get down to the micro as far as like, if you want to do this with a big team of people, or you want to do it like, it's like, even to this day, like, as far as like Flip and myself's business operations, there's just us and a couple other people doing video editing and odd jobs and odd tasks. Like, it's not like we don't have 75 employees and managing a huge team of people, because that's not the type of business we want to build. But if you do want to build a business like that, you can, right? You could build a network of closers and like have a big corporation if that's the type of brand you wanted to build. And the reality is you can start it all with the same exact fucking frameworks. It's all the same shit, right?
Yep.
Got a kick-ass question here, because I totally skirted around that question. If you didn't pick it up, how do you pick those 3 specific things, Mark? Your non-negotiables, what you need to do every day.
I lean on, depending on where I was in this journey, I leaned on what I knew would take me the longest and what I would have the most objections in my own mind for. If I was gonna just, I don't want to do this, I'd put that on the list, because I knew it was going to move the needle for my business. And that's different for everybody too. If you can pop out TikToks, that might not need to be a non-negotiable, because you can fit it in wherever. For me, it was things I knew I would battle myself doing, have that inner monologue, but like, I'm not doing that. You do it. You're supposed to do it. I don't want to do it. I want to go back to bed. Channeling my inner David Goggins going, I just knew for myself personally, I had to, and that's changed. It's fluctuated because I've gotten better and I care less about doing things, meaning it doesn't bother me as much. But at this stage, I think the non-negotiables are usually some sort of written content. Really thinking about the written content, being able to take that written content and then putting it into an email, like Flip taught me to do, so that I'm not doing 2 separate things. I'm being able, I'm gonna target at different places. DMs, and what has it been this week? DMs, because DMs are hard for me. What do I pick up? What do I do? And well, because I do have anonymous influencers too, there's usually a task in there, task dependent during the week. So that changes too. As long as I have the 3, I mean, it could be writing something, doing something for Jason or Reagan, because they're the copy kings. I just kind of do what they tell me, tighten it up. So that's it. I don't know if I can say it's specific, right? Because it depends on where you are in your business, and you've got to find your weakest points and focus like a laser on those. Because once you do, those weakest points, they'll go away eventually. They'll be so easy you'll forget that those were even hard, and then you'll have 3 other hard things.
So I like that, and I'm gonna try and compliment what Mark said. The way I want you guys to view this is like, as far as picking 3 important things to do every day, look at your bigger goal. Like, what do you want to accomplish? Right? If it's that $1 million business, right? There's your goal. Now you want to work backwards. All right. So how do I get to $1 million? One, you need to have something to sell, product, service, some kind of offer, right? Typically the higher price that is, the quicker you can get to, the $1 million, but you need something to sell. And then you need people to sell it to. So you have to have an audience, right? You need to know how to get attention from those people. So you need to have content or a means of getting attention. So this is where my non-negotiables have been born. I have to do some kind of content. I have to talk to some people, and I have to make offers. So there's your 3.
So good.
Right? That's what you just said, Mark. I'm just trying to compliment.
I know, but you panties are dropping. Panties are. I do. I'm the Chad frat boy, and they're going, "Oh, God." You're like, "Hey, so what's up?"
No. You're a doer, though. This is where everybody misses the mark. They're not doing it. You're doing it. So you're living it.
Yeah, that's true.
But
you got to do it.
Yeah.
And I think a big thing to think about is everything in this business or in general in life is a cause and effect. So you have to like break down what you need to be doing in your business on a micro level and looking at what that actual task is going to do as a whole. Right. So instead of like, hey, I want to make $10,000 a month, and then you're just like wandering around aimlessly doing anything and everything you can to make $10,000 a month, look at the things that you do that are actually going to cause you to make $10,000 a month. And those need to be the things you're focusing on, which are those 3 buckets that Flip just mentioned. Right. Yeah. Versus like, and this happens a lot, especially in the online realm. And like when people just get started, it's like, I want to make $10,000 a month, but I need to spend the next 8 hours making sure my Facebook cover photo is the right size. Like that shit does not matter. Like, nobody cares, dude. Like fucking who cares about the cover photo? Like,
so true.
So true. And that's not to say you shouldn't put some energy into like, making your cover photo nice or whatever, but that needs to be like bottom of the barrel task. Right? Prioritizing the tasks that are actually going to help you get to the goal you want to accomplish. Right? Yeah. That's the biggest element to all of it. This comment, hammock, ? Yeah, Mark was sending out hammocks. What?
Dead. I told you in Georgie, because of how it works, you're going to have to pick out the hammock on your Amazon. And I told you I'd pay you back. I'll send you a gift card. I'll do whatever you need. You probably forgot because it was winter time and you were bitching about something. But yes, absolutely. Pick out the hammock. I got you, bro. That's I mean, because everybody's got 1,000 ebooks. You got this. I just figured it was something to tie us closer together because, that's how we probably met. So yeah, it's a hammock.
Oh, yeah. I like it. Something. You gotta be pretty good with your numbers. Not saying you gotta be like a math whiz or anything, but simplify like your goals as much as possible, whether it's monetary or not. But I am gonna go with the monetary really quick. So like if you're selling something that's $100, right, or selling something where you make $100, right, then you're gonna have to do that 10,000 times. It's really not that many. 10,000 is not a big number per se, right? Meaning you got to have an audience. We've got, thousands and thousands of people in our audience because we've built it from the content. But if you make $100, you need to do that 10,000 times to get to $1 million, right? If you're selling something that pays you $1,000, guess what? You only need to do that 1,000 times, right? even better when you guys, as y'all continue to grow, and maybe you get to a point where you have like a $10,000 offer or more, right? You only have to do that 100 times to get to $1 million.
Yeah.
Like, and then reverse engineer that shit. Like, once you do that, it's like, oh, okay, there's the plan, there's the steps. Now I just got to be consistent.
Yeah. Take little bites of that elephant, you know, it's a big animal, but take little bites.
That's
Mark,
it.
do you think you could have gotten to where you are today if you didn't lose your job? This is a hard one, Ben. I personally don't think I would have looked and sought this out if I was still comfortable. What I said before about having blinders down, I had to think of my kids regardless of how much I hated that job, right? It didn't matter about me. I got to pay the bills. It was my responsibility, and the X, and all that shit. So no, I would have, if I didn't lose my job, I would have still been there, miserable, just surviving. That's why, honestly, when I have discussions with people, it's really important that for me to express to people, start doing this shit now, because you have no idea when you're going to need it. And I would have been so much better off if I had started, for whatever reason, if I had started earlier to learn this. But like I said, I was behind the 8 ball when I had to learn. So I had to do a lot of shit on the fly. But no, I don't think I would have gotten here, because I wouldn't have had the pressure, the resilience, the reason to do it. I just wouldn't have. So no.
Yep.
One of the,
same for me.
It's weird to say, great thing to happen, right? I mean, but it also forced me to realize I didn't want to go back to that shit. One, I'm older. I'd been through it through economic downturns. And it was one of those moments where I was like, dude, do you want to keep doing that? Because when this is over and they do start hiring again, you're going to triple down now. And you only have so many years left in your life. This is how you want to do it? Like, nope. Nope.
Boom.
So,
that's a big one.
That's a hard one for me, because I'm a different breed of human, where I would work a job just to like build a nest egg so I could quit. Like, I've literally been told by my boss before that I'm a job hopper. I would go work at a job for 6 months, and I would, like, the last job that I had at the gummy bear factory, I was working there, and I went from like just starting to like, raising to a line lead. It was this weird paradox, because they were like giving me raises, training me on all this stuff. And like, I was this model employee, and I was like, just the entire time I'm like, I'm quitting. Like, you guys have no idea. Like, I'm out. Like, I'm out, dude. Like, I have no care. I'm first opportunity I get, awesome. I'm gone. So, and I would do this all the time, right? Throughout my online journey, I think I did this 3 or 4 times, which I'm not encouraging anybody to do this, by the way. Right? I'm not telling you to go quit your job if, like, you're not in a position where you can do that.
Right.
But that's, I think for me, the biggest thing is I understood myself, and the pressure on me worked really well. Right? Like, the pressure of me not having a job and like, fuck, I have to make this work, really helped me. So if you are similar, maybe looking at ways to give yourself that type of pressure, because it's very easy. I can imagine, and a really good real-time example is I see this all the time in like my married friends, and they work jobs, and they make 6-figure salaries, and they just chill, but they're still like, they're struggling financially, right? Like, when finances get brought up, and they're like, oh, how much money do you have in the bank account? And I'm like, right. It's like, you got to find a way to make it, to keep yourself accountable is a big one, right? Especially when you have income coming in, because you don't need to make it work, right?
Right.
Reality.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I was very similar to Mark. I don't think I would have done what I did if I hadn't got let go, because I was comfortable. Like, I hated the time I was putting in, but the paycheck was like, you're okay. Once it was gone, and then my wife's income was gone, it was like, okay, it's fucking go time. I'm about to get in my Iron Man suit and I'm about to become Tony Stark and just solve fucking problems. And I'm gonna make this work and it's gonna be great. That was the fire that I needed, right? And then I became a dragon and a lion and all that. Like I needed that pressure to get me through and push me through that hard ass summer of 2020. And then after that, it was game on, baby. Like Flip was not paying attention to nothing other than what he wanted to do.
Yeah. Amen. I'm glad because I'm here because of you. Hey, that one cracked me up from Gabrielle. I spent 3 hours doing my hair for my cover photo when we were talking about photos and shit like that. Hey, Gabrielle, you know you can do that with AI now.
Yeah.
You can just do headshots. You could I know people just $17 and they get like 100 headshots with all kinds of backgrounds and stuff. You send it in and AI will make some amazing headshots for you. But yeah, don't do that. Don't spend 3 hours. It's I get it though. I totally get it. You want, oh my God, I want this thing to be How many people have read my welcome to my Facebook shit? Who's seen my video? Drop it in the comments. Probably nobody. I don't even remember where it is. Yeah. So, but you'll get. I mean, we all did it. Shit. I'm not picking on you, but we all did it.
Oh, 100%. Like the green cover photo that I have right here, the picture, you can see it in the background on the awards.
Mm-hmm.
So funny story. I like put on a button-up shirt, have a tie on. I think I was probably wearing pajama pants with a fucking suit and top, like taking a just nipples up picture.
Right.
and then like a couple years in, because I took this picture a long time ago, I would probably want to say like 2018-ish, more than likely. The tie is super crooked.
Never would have noticed. Now I'm gonna go look.
Yep.
That's the changing times though, right? Because if you follow Dan Kennedy, he's like, make sure you get out there and you do this and you do that. And I love the guy, but it's like just like everything else, times are changing. This is going to be my ensemble for the rest of my entire life. I don't care. I did the other uniform. I did the military uniform, and then I did the corporate shit. This is where I want to be. So be where you want to be.
I want to be like undercover successful to an extent because I put public content out, but I don't want folks to look at me like, oh, he drives a Lamborghini, he's dressed in a suit, he's got to be some kind. Nope, you're gonna see Flip pull up in a fucking black GMC with a leveling kit, looking like a straight country bumpkin because that's what the fuck I am. Simple as shit, and I got my pew-pews with me. Like you won't catch me, lacking. I'm just a regular country dude that has done what some folks deem as cool as fuck. Right, that's it. I'm just a normal dude.
And then see Flip picks me up at the airport, and I'm like, "Fuck, dude, this truck is fancy." I'm over here driving a 25-year-old car.
That's the way it goes.
I think
I'm old enough and past that stage too, because as Jimmy Buffett said, I've made enough money to buy Miami, and I pissed it away so fast. I don't need it anymore.
Yeah.
So all this stuff that I make now, I'm going to be so much smarter than I was in my dumb days.
Same. I'm building my fuck you fund. That's what I'm building. Yep. Anybody else working on their fuck you fund? Do you know what a fuck you fund is?
My fuck you fund is unlike my dad though. My fuck you fund is like if anything does happen, because I'm getting up to where my dad was when he passed. Is like I just want my daughters not to have a care in the world because they're smart. I don't know where they got it. Not for me, but I don't have any fear that they're gonna, fuck around and find out like me and waste it. So I just want to make sure that's there. So this is gonna happen.
Yeah, I agree. Same thing with my girls. I just want them to be straight. Like I'm ready to downgrade stuff. I've been trying to talk Brooke into let's just sell the house and get a camper and travel. But we're trying to keep the house. But we got big plans we want to do over the next 5-10 years, but we'll see. But I hope you guys can like kind of hack your way of thinking, like all of you. Like the way that we think normally based on the educational system and how we were raised, Like, yeah, we don't think big enough. I'm trying to tell you, right? Yeah, real quick, the fuck you fund is like when someone asks me to do something, like, Flip, you need to do this. Fuck you. I don't need to. Right? I want to have enough money in the bank. Maybe not the bank, but just have enough. Yeah, you know why I said that.
Yeah.
Just have enough money where it's
Some
like
tins out in the back.
yeah, I just don't want worry. I want peace of mind more than anything. Right?
Yeah.
That's what I want. Right? And by hacking, I know Mark's just itching to say. I'm gonna say this really quick. This $100 bill, it's a real one. It's not no motion picture shit. Right? Some folks just show fake money. I don't show stacks of cash, whatever. But this is a real $100 bill. And most people would say, they don't leave money laying around. I want to tell you, can anyone guess how long this $100 bill has been in my office? And there's a point that I want to prove. Take a guess. How long do you think this $100 bill has been in my office? Any guesses? Anyone at all? I've also got one downstairs too, so it's taped to the refrigerator. All right, so I see some guesses. So it's been in my office almost 2 years. Same $100 bill. Yep, well over a year, about 2 years. Right, and the reason I do that is because $100 is not easy to acquire. $100 no longer covers my hourly rate. $100 in today's time isn't really shit, honestly. Think about it. I used to go to the grocery store with grandma and we get a fuck ton of groceries for $20.
Yeah.
You can't get shit for $100. But I put this in front of me and I look at it right here every day when I sit down. I see it when I open the refrigerator. Money is abundant. It is easy to acquire. There's so much of it. Right? I could go into a whole tangent here, but it's not something that is hard to get. Honestly, with what I know, based on the calculated risk I have taken over the last few years, $100, I could go and get $100 anytime I wanted to with the knowledge that I have.
Amen.
So I keep it in this office as a reminder that I don't need money. I am worthy of money because of the skills. It's a quick mind hack. Yeah, it does. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. It's awesome. I wasn't really chomping at the bid because I probably lost what I was thinking, but you kept saying hack. So I was going to hack your dream life because that's my website and shit. But it was, I feel, I get these moments sometimes out. It's like, I feel like it's part of my mission though, is to not be that anger guy saying, get off my lawn. I know, but just to try to reach as many people who are either beginning that track or was on that same path that I was on, and just try to reach them before it's too late, because you get indoctrinated, you get into that job that we talked about where you're like, fuck it, what can I do? They're paying me, I hate it, this is how it's going to be till I die. And just try to reach those people and just say, there are so many opportunities. I know I keep saying that, and you'll get it once you're in here long enough. You'll be looking around going, where was all this shit when I was at my desk? Because it's abundant. The opportunities to do literally anything you want to do and make money online, it's amazing. It was like kept a secret from us for some reason, because our head was buried. Get out there and just explore.
Yep.
Do it.
And I'll say this. We mentioned it to our group juice folks yesterday. But because of Mark and what he's a part of, not only do we just do affiliate marketing and coaching and consulting, but we also have another income stream through being an Amazon influencer, right? So Mark, we're going on 2 hours, but I want you to kind of, it don't feel like we've been having a ball, right? Hopefully if y'all been enjoying this, drop that in the comments. But there's so many opportunities, like Mark just said, right? I got into the Amazon influencer. Me and Nate, we don't talk about it because it's not like something that we're what's to say? Our brand is a face. Like we're the face to our brands and businesses, right? So it's not 100% in alignment with what we do, but yet we still stand behind it because we actively do it. So it's just another cool way to build extra income, right? It's probably it is the easiest money I've ever made, but I did it to get my wife involved. So my wife pretty much does that, right? And I can't tell you, like, she sells a lot of her womany shit, if that's an English word. But I have so much shit that I've yet to record and upload that I can do in my fucking garage and in my shop. Right. But Mark, can you tell us about that just a little bit, what it's been like? Because I know you've got a monthly income from that that's pretty passive, right?
Yeah. And once, it's Amazon, so you got to play by their rules. But once we discovered this, it took us 6 months of trying to navigate all the shit that Amazon does and where people were failing. We were in the Reddit forums. We were all over the place learning and understanding and knowing where people were just screwing things up. That's why we created the course, because we want to give every single person the best chance, because you only get 3 chances. And then it's it that you don't have any more chances with Amazon. So we want to make sure that they get in so they have this opportunity, because once you do, as I said earlier, even if you're just lazy and you get in and you make whatever videos you want to make, there's almost 100% certainty you can come out of it with $1,000 a month, which again, if you're lazy, that's an extra 12 grand padding your pocket. But what we see is nobody's lazy. Once they start seeing that, they're like, oh my God, you're not kidding. This is a commission every day. Some people slept on it. They were like, oh, I didn't make my videos. I didn't do what you said. It took me this long. Just follow the process, because we've broken it and fixed it 100 times. So we know it works.
Can you say it again? Follow what?
We follow the plan. Follow what we tell you to do, because it works and it's repeatable. We know it works because we just keep repeating it. The people who follow the plan, they get in relatively quickly and easily. And the people who decide, okay, I got this, and they go do their own thing, they're coming back going, I only have one more chance. And you're like, okay, if you didn't follow the plan, did you? No, I bought an account. Why did you buy a cat account? Don't do that. Who told you to do that? Because that's the other thing. There's a lot of courses that came out, and they're just selling. They're telling you bad juju. They're taking your money. They're running. They don't have a Facebook group. They don't have any support saying no, don't do that. And our goal is to get everybody through, because you start again. We've all had those struggles, right? Of making your first dollar online or whatever. But once you do and you see that it's real, and it's from Amazon, it's the largest retailer on the planet, and Walmart's still in beta, but Walmart's coming through soon, and all these digital, short form digital content. Everybody here, get good at it, get comfortable being on camera, or at least shooting videos, because that's another wave of the future. Put it all together from what you get in Group Juice.
Yeah.
And if nothing else, what we offer is that breathing room. And we've heard this from so many people coming through our program that are either doing affiliate marketing, struggling, if they want to come in here, they won't struggle, but they're trying to do their own thing. Yeah. And they're finding that, oh my God, I can breathe again. I can pay, again, depending on whether I can pay my mortgage, I can pay my car bill, all my utilities are paid for. I can breathe again. I can now focus on my affiliate marketing business. That's what we built.
That right there.
That's what we built.
I've probably been hammering on this for like probably 2 weeks now, especially during this little promo for March Madness. But like when you start your month with thousands of dollars already being made, you're a completely different person and you operate completely different. Like me being a household with a wife that has an expensive traveling habit, and I love to eat as much as I do, and 2 kids that eat every 5 minutes. It probably costs us about $5 to $6 grand to just handle the household. Right. All right. That's me. It's probably way more expensive than most, but that's what it costs for me to live my life technically.
Yeah.
But we start every month with bills paid.
Yeah.
It's not a like, oh, how am I going to pay this?
Right.
Yeah, it's just like it's a boulder off your shoulder.
It's such a relief with that. I don't know if you checked, but Amazon hit early today because usually it's on the last. But I was like, oh, hey, how you doing? In both the accounts, I was like, again, it's like, kids are getting ready for spring break or summer vacation. It's like all of it's taken care of. It's such a relief. It's a relief having Group Juice and having you guys just to, I don't like saying this, just to hang out and talk to, because I don't want people to think that's what it's about, but to be able to bounce these ideas off you and get your understanding of what, because you've told me plenty of times too, well, okay, you can anticipate this is going to happen in your next step of growth. And then it's also good to have that team where we're building something and we're continuing 2.0 is going to, not 2.0, it's going to be called something else, is coming out soon to add even more to what we already put in there. So people can just breathe, live, hack your dream life, create your own economy.
I know me and Nate haven't really talked about, Amazon influencer, like I said, but I can see that changing because I know for me, I won't speak for Nate, but me and Nate's, we make money with that every single day, like pretty much clockwork. But I personally wanted to do it for a while before I told anyone about it in my audience. So I've seen so many people, besides me and Nate, become successful with it. So I can see us telling folks about it, sharing it with our audience, a little bit more here lately. But
I've been making about $1,000 since the beginning of the year with it.
Every month.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we all know in the other group, there's some people who are quiet and there's other people who are like, I had another, I won't get into their numbers because we're not going to do screenshot, but the potential is pretty amazing. And you don't need to be Adrian Brambilla to make those numbers because the one doing it is beating Adrian right now. Adrian's kind of like, he's coasting right now,
Yeah. He went hard for like a week. And then
that's all he had to. He did. He went hard. He wanted, because that's how he does it. But we still talk to him, and he's like, every month he's like, this is unbelievable. I haven't touched this since January. This is hands down the easiest thing.
Yep.
So
he's
got to get it done right.
There's a quick question that Keisha's got. If you want to answer that, Mark.
It's $9.97. There's some upsells in there that you can or cannot take. It doesn't really matter, but the core of it is $9.97. Without saying too much, it's a good time to get in now. One, because you're leaving money on the table. It's a process to get through this whole thing. But once so you have to do that to get in. But Dom gave away the store, as you guys know. So there's some like stupid freebies in our little Facebook group that are going to go away, and people are going to have to pay for them soon. So it's $9.97. And
sweet. So as we're coming to a close, Mark, is there?
Yes.
Can you please do two things? One, your best advice for anyone online right now, like something they should focus on. That's number one. Number two, where can they find you?
Well, I mean, do you mean anybody online who's already in Group Juice or just in general?
Anyone in general.
Us. I implore you to understand that your job, nobody cares what you did yesterday. And in your lifetime, you will lose that job at one point. So it is really in your best interest to start whatever you can do to start learning these skills that we teach. They're going to be the skill set of people who really make money going forward, not people employed by people, but people who really make money. This is how you're going to do it. So just start wherever you can, whether it's free YouTube or if you can do more, please start before you absolutely need to, because it's so valuable. You'll thank your older self will thank you that you did this.
Yeah.
And then where they can find me in my Facebook group, which is Mark Scott Online. My website is markscottonline.com. Everything's branded markscottonline.com because it's me. So I figure, hey, I'll just tell you my name, and it's not, no offense to anybody, but it's not like make money with Mark, or I didn't do that in the beginning. It was like Mark Scott Online. So
hell yeah. Y'all check him out.
Hop over to my Facebook group. Check it out.
Hit him up. Yep.
I'll come back through and I'll tag his group above this video or in the description, wherever you're watching this, because this video will probably be in a few places.
Can I add one thing before you kick me off?
Sure.
And also, whoever isn't in this world yet, these two guys not only really, really, really know their shit, but they really, really, really care about everybody having success. So that's the other thing I guess I would recommend. Listen to them, because they really do care. I've spent time with them both personally, on a personal level, where you can look at somebody and you can look at somebody when they're not looking at you and you're going, yeah, they're doing exactly what they say they're doing. You know what I mean? They don't know they're being watched, and they're just really good human beings. So if you stick with them, you're going to do really, really well. So that's my advice.
Fun fact, Mark crashed our in-person event. He didn't even let us know he was coming to Virginia, and he just showed up.
I'm sure I did. Maybe just not directly.
Nah, you was like, I ain't coming. And then next thing we know, Mark shows up with a hammock and he's there.
Instead of an Irish goodbye, it was an Irish show up.
Hell yeah, I appreciate you, Mark.
Thanks, guys. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate you having me on. It's always fun.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure, working with you as long as you've allowed us to work with you. And we're fucking excited to see what else we can cook up and continue to do, man. So thanks for bringing all of your secret sauce today. Thank y'all for hanging out with us. Y'all go check Mark out. He's a hell of a stand-up guy. So thanks for joining us, and we'll catch y'all on the flip side. Love, peace, chicken grease.
Thanks, everybody. Out.